Nowadays, being a man is as important as it could be. There is a huge identity crisis for young men who have no goals, no aspirations, no purpose, and have no idea who to look up to. I dare to say that most of us young guys had a very sheltered life. We encountered little to no challenges, had the full support of our parents, and had a life path laid out for us. And I think that's exactly the problem. There is no need for our spirits to develop when you follow a step-by-step plan that was laid out for you. You go to school, go to college or work, start a family, and finally retire. Such a life path doesn't give you the chance to transform yourself into the superhero you looked up to when you were young. It gives no opportunity for our spirits to grow. To compensate the missing spiritual growth from experiences, we start reading books, going to talks, or watching movies or series. But no amount of content consumption can create memories that really transform you. Consumed content cannot replicate the feeling you get when you're finally courageous in life, or fearful, or when you finally feel like the superhero that you always wanted to be. What I'm finally beginning to understand is that the lack of willpower, lack of ambition, lack of purpose is related to the fact that we as young guys have it very easy. We don't really know what it is to step outside of our comfort zone. We don't know how it is to live a hard life. And I'm not talking about ice baths, running a marathon, or doing any of that kind of stuff. We need to rekindle that light inside of us. The spirits of our fathers, grandfathers, and warriors who went through immense hardships and still were able to achieve extraordinary things. I never had to experience the battlefield or not knowing when the next meal will come. I had a very sheltered life, and even things that are seemingly uncomfortable for me are still not as harsh as the reality of life that my father and grandfather went through. I have no idea how hard it is to provide for your family, to move to a different country where you don't speak the language and know nothing of, and still achieve extraordinary things. And even though I live such a comfortable life nowadays, I still find ways and reasons to complain about. And while I complain, I do absolutely nothing to change the situation that I'm in. I do nothing to better my life, because I don't even really know if I want to better my life or if I'm just telling myself that I want to better my life. I find excuses to avoid hard work. I find excuses for the stuff that I know I have to do, but instead I'll pick up a book, read a few pages and tell myself, at least I did something today. And even though reading a book is not the worst thing I could do, it's still not nearly enough. I'll read more books, consume more content, and tell myself this time I really want it for real. But in the end, my life kinda stays the same, nothing really changes, and that's because I just find excuses to avoid the hard work, to avoid doing the things that I'm uncomfortable with. And I know I'm not the only one who's affected by that. I know I'm not the only one who's feeling that way. I'm sure there's a lot of guys who can relate to the things that I'm saying right now. And we have to be for real with ourselves. We have to finally accept the fact that right now we are too weak. We are way too soft to achieve greatness. Because achieving greatness and becoming a man isn't going to come by being ordinary. And I think the only way to stop being ordinary, to start really living our life, is to find our purpose and live life with this purpose in mind. In fact, I think as a man, as a guy, living life with purpose, embracing masculinity, that's the only way of life. There's a great quote, and I don't remember who it is from, but it goes something like, we have two lives, and the second one starts the moment we realize we only have one. We have to live and experience life and embrace all the things that happen to us, because there is no other way. Otherwise, we would not live, we would just exist. We have to become students of life. No amount of books will change the fact that we have to go out there and fail. Fail again and again and again. Make bad decisions and learn from them. No TV show or movie will awake the emotions inside of you that life experiences will. You've got to be the catalyst for change, man. You have to do it for yourself and the people surrounding you. Because in the end, isn't that what it means to be a man? To protect and provide for your loved ones? To guide them in times of need? To be the first one who takes the step forward even though you're scared as well. Isn't that the beauty of masculinity? Go out there and do the things you know you need to do. Quit your job if you don't like it. You will survive. You will find something else. I know you guys have ambitions and goals for life. So go out there and take action. Take it as a sign to wake up, to finally start realizing your potential, to finally make the first step to become a real man. Embrace life. Embrace masculinity.